Hey everyone, Creeper here. So we're back doing a series review. Of course, this is for October, and today we're doing Saw. I watched all the movies, so let's get into it. Going into these movies, I wasn't sure if I would be okay with the gore, and it turned out to be completely fine. Like, really, it wasn't that bad. First up, we have Saw. The characters are interesting in this movie with Dr. Gordon and, of course, Adam. I think they're really good characters. I think they play off well with each other, and they're really good actors, so they did a good job in this movie, so good job. The story is pretty simple at this point in the series where these two guys wake up, they tell them about their lives and stuff. Of course, then Dr. Gordon cuts off his leg. The sound design in this movie is really good and the editing is done well. The game's pretty simple because, it's just these two guys in one room. So it's pretty simple. The best trap in this movie is, of course, the reverse bear trap. It's iconic. It's amazing. And honestly, there's no least favorite trap for this movie. I will give this movie an out of 10. Now we have Saw 2. The characters are also pretty good at this. Eric Matthews is interesting and, calling out police for police brutality is based. The story is pretty simple. The twist at the end of the movie where it turns out that they're just watching a replay of the whole game is amazing. And the game itself, the Stink House, I believe it's called, is pretty good. I like all the traps. The best trap in this movie is probably the needle pit because it actually made me feel gross. But there's no worse trap and I would give this movie a 9 out of 10. Saw 3. Characters are okay. Jeff is kind of annoying, but I think Amanda in this movie, she does seem to be not a good fit for the successor to Jigsaw. Story's pretty good where Jeff has to go forgive his child killer and the judge who let him off and the person who refused to be a witness to. And of course, that's also the game. My favorite trap of this entire movie is probably the pig vat where he has to get the judge out of a pit vat by burning his child's stuff. I think that was really good. And the worst trap is probably going to be the shotgun trap. I'll give this movie a 7 out of 10. Saw 4. Okay, Daniel Riggs is really annoying. He doesn't listen to the game. Just listen to the game, man. I would understand if he doesn't do it once, but it's really frustrating when he constantly does it. And that also hurts the story because honestly, I don't like Daniel Riggs. The best trap is probably the ice cube trap at the end where he smashes his head. That was good. And there's no worst trap. I thought all the traps were pretty good in this. The sound design and the music and editing is all done really well, but Daniel Riggs really puts this down for me. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Saw 5. The characters in this aren't as good as former movies, but I still like them. The story, where it turns out they were all connected because they set a building on fire, killing 8 people, and they covered it up and stuff, was pretty good. The best trap would probably be the nails bombs trap, and I like how it shows how they were actually really selfish because they could fit more than one person in each one, but they don't think that way because they're selfish people. And there's no worst trap because they're all good. Sound design, once again, great, alongside the editing and music, amazing. I know this will be controversial, but I'm going to give this movie an out of 10. Saw 6. Now, these characters, once again, aren't as good as the others, but the story they're in, I think is really interesting, how it actually touches on healthcare. I think that's really cool because, someone who has cancer would probably know about the dangers of healthcare because, he has cancer, so I think it all fits well. Now, the best trap is obviously the shotgun carousel. Like, what else would it be? It's a shotgun carousel. The worst would probably be the lung crusher because, honestly, killing a guy because he smokes, that seems kind of much Jigsaw. I know this is also going to be controversial. I really know it is. I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. Saw 7. And of course, at the end of Saw 6, we get to see Hoffman kill a bunch of people, which is great. We also got to see him do a little bit earlier when he became the Jigsaw man. He really goes through the whole deal here. And it actually goes into Saw 7, where Saw 7's characters suck except for Mark Hoffman. And of course, Dr. Gordon is back. And the best trap? No best. Honestly, the traps in this movie were a really bit of a letdown. But the worst is probably either the public execution, someone would stop that, what? Or the one where his wife gets set on fire. It seemed very rude. What did she do? I understand what the other people did, but what did she do? She just loved and supported her husband. What the heck? She did not deserve to die. With that being said, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. Next up, we have Jigsaw. I hate all the characters, honestly. They're boring. I don't care about them. The story with the plot twist at the end where it turns out, oh, this game happened in the early 2000s. It was stupid. I didn't like it, especially when there's flat screen TVs. That just seems like a mistake on your part. If you actually wanted to do a twist, you should have put regular TVs from that time period there. For the best trap, I'm probably going to give that to the spiral thing where the person goes down and gets cut up. I like that. Now, I will say there's no worse trap, but once again, the twist at the end is so stupid, so incredibly stupid. Also, I just realized there might be something in the background, but I don't know, so I will just have to check this later. That being said, I will give this movie a 5 out of 10. Last movie, and it's Spiral. The characters were annoying except for Samuel L. Jackson. I actually liked him. The story was okay. I actually do like the fact they focus on police brutality, but honestly, I hate the fact this is a police movie. The police scenes for the other movies were the worst part of those movies. I prefer the trap scenes, obviously. I'm not going to give any best or worst Traps because I don't care for them. They're not good enough to, or worst enough just for me to say, hey, this is the best or worst. I don't care for them. It's honestly really boring. It's also extremely unfunny, so I'm gonna give this movie a 5 out of 10. Now we go to the rankings. Let's go. This is gonna go from worst to best. Coming in at number 9, we have Jigsaw. Coming in at number 8, we have Spiral. Coming in at number 7, we have Saw 7. Coming in at number 6, we have Saw 6. Coming in at number 5, we have Saw 3. Coming in at number 4, we have Saw 2. Coming in at number 3, we have Saw, just the original. Coming in at number 2, we have Saw 5. And coming in at number 1, we have Saw 6. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. We're out.
Socialism is when the government does stuff. And it's more socialism the more stuff it does. And if it does a real lot of stuff, it's communism.